I'll be honest with you, I've really been conflicted about making this video, and I haven't really wanted to make this video for a long time. But I've also felt like I should make this video. I'm just gonna say it. Nas is a grifter. What up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Phil Risden here, and I'm recording live from Queens, New York. And I bring up Queens because Queens is the subject of today's video. You guys know me. You have known that New York City is very, very close to my heart. Even though I'm from Jersey, it is. And Queens especially. I've lived here for about 2 years, and it's just been an amazing, amazing time. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that are going on here that I do not like. And the main thing is the casino. They're already building it. And in fact, Nas was having some sort of celebration event commemorating the opening of this casino that is coming in the future. And I believe the expansion of this casino should equal about $5.5 billion. So they're putting a lot of money into this casino. And I haven't really wanted to make this video for a long time, but I've also felt like I should make this video. This is somebody that a lot of people have loved, me included, you know, one of my favorite artists. And I'm just gonna say it. Nas is a grifter. He is. And I don't know if he always has been, but he is now. And it is an issue, and we need to talk about it. Now, this comes from me, as you guys know, the hip hop fan here, the old school hip hop fan, the lyrical miracle guy, as they would call us, you know what I mean? The backpack rapper fan. That is me. That is who I am, right? You know, you've seen me on here a lot of times, capping for Drake and shit like that. But I love Kendrick Lamar just as much. I love J. Cole just as much. You know, I was raised on Talib Kweli, Kanye West before he was awful. You know what I mean? And Mos Def, tons of different people. De La Soul, A Tribe Called Quest. I can name them off the top, you know, forever if I really wanted to. But one of those people was Nas. And I'll be real with you, seeing his actions now compared to the person he used to be 10, 15, 20 years ago is really a disappointment. And I'll be honest with you, this might be the biggest betrayal, I think, by a music artist that I've ever had in my life. Even worse than Kanye West. Yes, worse than Kanye West. Kanye might be bigger, but I think Nas's betrayal of who he is symbolizes something a lot deeper in American society. And it's really just the corruption of the soul when given money. Now, a lot of people watching this are definitely going to cap for him and be like, hey, man, it's just a good business deal. And I agree with you. It is a very, very good business deal. But for someone like Nas, considering something that is detrimental to the community, but is good for business and still doing it seems like a bit of a violation. Let's not pretend that Nas has always acted like he's Jay-Z. He hasn't. Since Nas's inception, he started off as a dude who was from the streets, but was never a part of the streets. He was more like a reporter showing you what he saw every day. And not only would he break down the gangster aspects, the hustling aspects of things, but he would also explain to you what was detrimental to the Black community and what was in it. I feel like gambling kind of falls under that. He's never talked explicitly about it, but come on. I mean, if we're going to talk about things that are detrimental to the Black community, you know, or things that we don't want in the Black community because it's going to hurt us, one would be a liquor store, another would be a gun shop, and number 3 would be a fucking casino. And anybody that is sitting here trying to ignore that is a complete liar. And what I think that's so annoying about him and the way that he's done it is that it's not just like he's always been this guy who's after a buck. 90% of his career, he's never really been that guy. Yes, he's been an investor. And, you know, listen, if you're a rapper, I understand you use your name, use your cachet to get more money and invest in certain things. It's not necessarily bad. It's just the way that he's doing it now that is awful. Like, I've known about Bevel and, you know, he's done some stuff for like Hennessy or something, but he's not putting a literal Hennessy flagship store in the hood. There's a difference between being a guy in a commercial and being the guy who's instrumental in the infrastructure of that place. And it was a place that you used to live, and you know it's going to have a negative aspect. It's crazy. I feel like Nas is becoming who people think Jay-Z is. That's not to say that Jay-Z is not bad and he's not a staunch capitalist that will do anything for a dollar. He is. But Nas has always sold people as a man of the people. You know, a guy who cares more about his community, and not just the black community, but I feel like the community at large, right? And I feel like this investment in the casino is a complete abandonment of that. And as a Nas fan, I have a very, very serious problem with that. Not for nothing, you've always sold yourself as this type of guy, and we've kind of let certain things slide. For years, Nas had terrible beat selection. Nas never had anything for the clubs. He only made headphones music, but we never really cared, right? Because that was Nas. We always saw him as this person who was giving back to the community. So in a way, we gave back to him with our listenership. Now, when you find out that he's been lying about who he is the whole time, then it's just like, what the fuck? I was just listening to dog shit music for no real reason. Nas is having a comeback, but he had albums and albums of mid or low tier music. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. And we all put up with it because of who we thought he was as a guy. And now he comes back, he gets a little bit more fame, he gets some more recognition, and he just starts selling everybody out. Make it make sense. They need to start studying what happens when black men leave show business or have lower popularity in show business and then gain a huge surge of popularity in show business again, because something happens there that causes them to lose their minds. And Dave Chappelle is a perfect example of that. He's the dude who walked away from 50 million, went to Africa, right? We thought he had his integrity, comes back from Africa and just starts selling himself out. Everything that the guy who left for Africa wouldn't have done, Dave Chappelle is now doing. And I feel like Nas is kind of doing the same exact thing. It's like he was hot when he was younger, Illmatic, Stillmatic, you know what I mean? He's had a lot of great albums, right? But he went out of favor. Now he's back in favor, and he's like, now that I got my influx of money, I'm gonna take him for everything. It's almost like the longer they stay in it, right, and the fact that they had some of their cachet removed from them made them realize how many people were taking advantage of them, but also like how many things they let slide and how much they could have taken advantage of other people. And now when they get that opportunity again, they go fully for it with no mercy and no remorse. Now, I've never been in those positions, so I can't necessarily say that I wouldn't do the same thing, but I would like to think that if you have a certain level of integrity, especially with your community, like Nas does, you wouldn't sell it out just for a quick dollar, especially when you have the type of money that Nas has. He may not be Jeff Bezos, but that doesn't mean that he's not making more money than me and you will ever see in our lifetime. So if he has all that money and still needs more, it begs the question, how much is enough? But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this is a good business deal, or do you think he's tearing the community apart? Anyway, that's the video. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you later. Peace.